Welcome to PASO Robles, where there's a lot of things to do. We were going to try to stop in here to do an olive tasting where there's a giant farm where they grow the olives. Unfortunately, most places in PASO Robles, you need a reservation. So we thought we would try. They do have bookings later this afternoon. So if we have time, we're going to come back. If you are planning a trip to PASO Robles, make sure you check the websites of where you want to go. And if you can, make reservations, because I have a feeling that you may run into a problem if you don't make reservations ahead of time. Some places do leave openings for walk-ins, but we're finding that from talking to people that in a lot of the cases, you do need a reservation. But anyway, no matter what, you're going to join me on this adventure in PASO Robles. This is the downtown PASO Robles area where there's a ton of restaurants. There's a theater, there's shops, ice cream shop, candy shop, all kinds of things to do. Now, we are finding out that a lot of the fancier restaurants do require, again, a reservation. So if you want to look ahead of time to see what kind of food you might be in the mood for, make sure to make your reservations ahead of time. That's one of the reasons why we're walking around. A lot of these restaurants have menus outside, and we're trying to figure out what we want to do for dinner. So since we are in downtown and we have our first winery appointment at 1, we're just going to do a very quick lunch here at this pizza place and then on to wine tasting. We're doing well. Ready for our first wine tasting of our trip. Our first taste of the day is called a Vulganier, and it has like toasted coconut and green apple. I don't taste the ground coconut though. I could smell the green apple. It's actually really good. Great way to start the wine tasting. Good morning and welcome to the Estrella Warbird Museum. We are going to spend some time here before we start with our wine tasting for the day. It looks like there is a lot to see, so we're going to take you along for this part of the adventure as well. If you ever wanted to see an F-14, that was one of the planes used in Top Gun. There you go. This was known as a REO Speedwagon motorhome from 1929. This is really cool. We're not allowed to go in, but I can show you that it had a stove, seating. There's probably beds that drop down back there. So this is like the RV of the 1920s. How cool is that? I will say that this museum was a lot better than I expected. It is huge. There's a lot to see here. Cars, airplanes, vintage racing vehicles. We even saw a bumper car. I mean, everything is here. Originally came here for my husband because he flies remote controlled airplanes, and so this was more for him, but I actually really enjoyed it. So this is definitely a great stop if you're coming to Paso Robles with kids, or if you want something to do outside of wine tasting. So, but we are doing some wine tasting today, so stay tuned for that. The difference between wine and children is you can sit down and reason with a bottle of Cabernet. Love it. It was actually pretty good. So I happen to really love Sangiovese, which goes great with pizza, and they make a Sangiovese here, which I'm very excited about. It says that theirs has Bing cherry and cranberry flavors, so giving it a whirl. It's really good. It's really good. Yum. There's 10/28 since October.
5/11/15.
Whoa. That's been aging for almost 10 years. Well, after wine tasting, we need real food. So we're going to stop in to taste, and it's supposed to be a craft eatery, and it looks pretty good. So we're going in. This is a very unique place. So you could pick anything from the menu. You could do 2, 3, or 4. I decided to do 3. Had I known how big the portions were going to be, I probably could have gone 2, but I'm not unhappy. This is quinoa, butternut squash, and cranberries. I think it's called Ruby Grains. This one you get to pick what, for the mac, what cheese you want and what topping. So I did a smoked Gouda with caramel, sliced onions, very savory, very good. And then this is a chicken sandwich with a pesto sauce, and it's just in aioli, it's in vegetables, it's fabulous. The hubs had, what's up to his? He had fries and 2 of the mushroom burgers. We all love the food here. What you're seeing behind me is part of a light installation, an art installation. We're gonna end up walking around, and the sun just set probably about 15 minutes ago. But once all these solar lights go on and it's darker, it should be absolutely gorgeous. The experience is called Sensorio. I will leave the link in the description box below. It is not a cheap excursion. It was about $90 total for 2 people, and you can find discount codes, especially for some of the other wineries. But it is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous and a one-of-a-kind experience. So you're gonna come along for this part of the adventure as well. These are called the light towers, and they have lights inside bottles, probably wine bottles. Wow, it's pretty cool. And that is going to wrap up my visit to Paso Robles. This is a must-do. I couldn't do the outro with the lights because you're not supposed to use flash. So instead I chose this Christmas tree. We're about to go get some hot beverage and then sit by one of the fire pits and just kind of enjoy the rest of the evening. But you could come to Paso Robles even if you aren't a wine drinker. We only did 2 wineries this trip. And then, of course, we did the museum today and then this art installation, which is absolutely gorgeous. I will leave links below to everything that we experienced. So on that note, thank you for tuning into The Wonderful World of Wendy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Give me a big thumbs up. And I'll see you on my next adventure.